Hi there, this is Penelope. This is a video of what I would have done yesterday had we not had such an absolute disaster of a first class, with me having no computer access and no projector in the classroom and obviously then I couldn't do what I would normally have planned to do in the classroom. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to send you a video, a YouTube video of what I would have done had I been able to make everything go, and yeah, it would have been better, but these things sometimes just don't happen. Right, if you need me at any stage, please email me. At penelope.deboer@welltech.ac.nz. Now, some of you were on my list, not on my list, partially on my list, on the wrong list. I hope that all of you now have got Podia access, but I want to be able to now show you Podia just to make sure that you've all got Podia and how it works. If you haven't got Podia, please email me. So if you haven't got Podia, please email me. Okay, so Podia, as I tried to explain yesterday, is just a learning and teaching platform. It's no more than that. It's free to you. Sadly, it costs me, but it's free to you, and it parallels Moodle, which I'm required to set up. So if all else fails, Moodle is there. But Podia is a much better way in my thinking, because it sets out things in the right order that you need to do them. You can see what you've done and we can go from there. So let's hope the link works. Okay, so I just need to make my screen a little bigger. Actually, if I move it, when you go in, you will see the table of contents. Okay, so I just need to make that fit my screen. No, it's not going to fit my screen. Okay, but anyway, when you go in, you can see the table of contents, and there's a few little, this is how it works and so on. But the main things in that first block are the course outline, the course information video, so that's just a video of the course outline. Then it gives you an absolute detailed dates of what you need to do where, week by week. There's the information if some of you haven't got the textbook yet, then there's a video there. Now, if you were in the class in the first trimester, then all you need to do is when you log in, click on enroll in course, or I think those are the new words, and then use the code that's in that textbook information. Whether you look for the code in the video or whether you look for it in the registration handout document at the beginning of that first block, there is a code. It's DEBOER, DEBOER, something or other, and it ends in 7, I think. That's the number that you just put in if you already have access to My Math Lab. If you don't, if you're a new student, then you needed to purchase that, and you needed to purchase the version with the e-text, which was the slightly more expensive version. As I noted in class yesterday, it is much, much cheaper to buy about an $85 subscription rather than buying a textbook that costs you several $100s to buy. The My Math Lab stuff I will talk about in a minute. All right, so there's everything you need. The next block is the previous tests and exams. These are, a lot of them are videos, some of them are PDFs of worked examples of past tests and past exams. Right, now yesterday you should have been doing topic 1 and lesson 1. So we should have gone right down to here. Oops, it won't let me write on that, but right down to the end of lesson 1 or to the start of lesson 2. Lesson 2 is what we're going to do today at 1 o'clock. And remember, it will be by Zoom. But what you need to do is you need to read each of these so that you know ahead of time what we're going to be doing. I expect you to watch the video. It's called their Topic 1 Review of Basic Arithmetic Skills Part 2. That's the PDF. The video link is in the lessons, which I can't open here because it's a different view from where I could actually open it. Okay, so if you look at lesson 2, it's got the video link in there. I expect you to watch that video before you come to class. Okay, so that when you come to class at 1 o'clock on Zoom, I can start straight into working on things. Okay, now if by some chance you miss a class, they are already pre-recorded. Now this is not to encourage you not to come to class, please. You do need to come to class, but if there's for some reason that you can't come to class, right at the very end, you see an awful lot of work has gone into setting this up, but that's fine. Right, if you see right at the very end, the notes from the live classes are already posted. Some of them have the incorrect dates on them, but that's fine. That is for you if you miss a class, or if you want to go back and look at what we did in a particular class. So they are labelled T1C1, that means Topic 1, Class 1 for the week. So you have, in any given week, you have three classes. So that's where we're at. That's Podia. Right, let me go back now to my PowerPoint presentation. Right, now move that back. Okay, so that's Podia. It's where everything is. Your assignment questions are there. What you have to do in each class is there, and so on. Text registration, that also is on Podia. There's a video of how to do it. There's a PDF document of the code and the instructions. So make sure if you don't have the textbook that you get that by now. So the text, now some of you may not have heard what I was saying. The text gives you an e-text, which is an electronic text. And so it gives you the book, and it gives you access to my math lab. And my math lab gives you both exercises to do, but also so does the textbook. But my math lab has half of your assessment in it as well. So each week there's a piece of assessment to do from that. So it's really important that you get that up and running. There's a detailed calendar. It's both on Moodle and on Podia, but you may as well, if you're on Podia, it's there in order on Podia. So you've got that so that on any given day you know what it is that we are about to do. Okay, now that was all the nuts and bolts that I really needed to get you to cover off yesterday. Then, because I didn't have a projector or any computer access, whatever, I would have, had I had that, I would have done this. So, prime factors. A prime number, right, we all know what a prime number is. They start at 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, and so on. But, you know, you're not going to be asked at this level to just list them. We need to be able to find the prime factors of a number. And often you don't know why we do this, and it's for stuff that we're going to do later. You can do it the long way. You can just go to 20 and you can divide by successive prime numbers. So dividing by the first prime number would give you 110. So let's just circle what we've just divided it by. 110 divided by 2 is 55, so that works. Now 55, we can't divide by 2, we can't divide by 3, we can divide by 5. So that gives us 11. Right, 11, we can't divide by 7, but we can divide by 11, and that gives us 1. Once we've got to 1, we're finished. So 220 equals 2 times 2 times 5 times 11, or you could write it as 2 squared times 5 times 11. Now, the shortcut way is to just use your calculator. And these are the instructions for the calculator that is prescribed for the course. So you would put in 220, then you need to hit the equals button because otherwise it doesn't work. Then shift, then the button that says fact. It's the one that has all the commas on it. And then it will pop up with 2 squared times 5 times 11, just as we got above. Now, somebody asked me this morning about 451 and how to guess the prime factors of that. Not so much guessing, it's just controlled working through them. So you would try to divide by 2, no. 3, no. 5, no. 7, no. 11, yes. So if you divide 451 by 11, then, you know, however you do it, using your calculator, it would be 11 times 41, or you could use your calculator. Okay, then we covered off least common multiples. This is covered in a separate video though, but it's the smallest number that all will go into. Okay, so a least common multiple is the smallest number that they'll all go into. And you can use your calculator, but if you've got more than 2, it doesn't work. So you just have to prime factorize them all. So 81 is 3 to the power of 4. 90 is 2 times 3 squared times 5. And 84 is... what's that? That's 2 squared times 3 times 7. So what we need to look at is the biggest number of 2's, which is 2 squared, the biggest number of 3's, which is 4. There's 1 5, there's 1 7. And if you multiply all that together on your calculator, you get, 11340. So that's the LCM of those 3 numbers. Now I'm running out of time. Sorry, my record button flicked off then. So it's smaller than all of the other numbers for the greatest common divisor. Again, you need to prime factorize, but it's easier this time if you write them out in full. So then we look, we've got a 3 in everything. That's the smallest number that occurs in both. So 2's not common, 5, 7, they're not common. So 3 is the GCD, whatever you like to call it, the HCF. Right, now you need to go to Podia and find out the textbook that you need to do So go to Podia to find out the work that you need to do. No, it still needs to be, seems to be recording, so that's cool. I'll carry on talking. So you go to Podia, and in the textbook it told you to do pages 6, 8, 9, 11, 12, 14 to 15, and then on my math lab it says you need to do operations on numbers. And you need to do all of this before the class for today. All right, so when we come to class this afternoon at 1, which will be on Zoom, then I expect you to have finished all of yesterday's work and watch the video for topic 2, which is where we look at fractions. All right, I will see you at 1 o'clock.